Hello, this is Rory from the Love Chat, and today... Wait, do I say from or with? Shit. Rory with the Love Chat, and today's topic is... They asked for space. Now, this is video number 223. If you enjoy my channel and its content, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like, as it really does help me out and helps my channel grow. And if you would like coaching on your particular situation, just visit my website, thelovechat.net/coaching. Now then, what to do when they ask for space? Now, this is one of the ones that's particularly scary because it can take so many different faces and it can happen in so many different situations. And so, more often than not, you're going to hear, I need space, when you're in a relationship. And so, we can look at this as a dating question. Sometimes it happens when you're trying to reconcile with somebody. So, that could be an X-back situation. Sometimes it's the courting phase, and I'll be honest with you, if they ask for space during the courting phase, you're coming on way too strong and you need to back up big time. But what happens when you're just in a regular dating scenario, or maybe an X-back scenario, and they ask for space? What does it mean? What will it mean for the chances of this working out, either reconciling or continuing in such a way where there is peace, harmony, attraction, love, etc.? Well, when somebody's asking you for space, think about what that means. Think about what it means if you have ever asked for space or took space from a situation. Usually it means you're getting too much feedback, too much is happening, or rather things are happening in such a way that make you feel uncomfortable or smothered. And as we know, when something is smothered, it usually feels this instinctual urge to break free. So now imagine that in dating. Dating is supposed to be easy and fun and lighthearted, and if I want space from the thing I am dating, or the thing I'm considering reconciling with, which is arguably another form of dating, it's usually meaning that something about this interaction is too much, and I might not even be able to identify what it is. That's one of the problematic things about this, is the other person who's asking for space might not know why they need space. It's a scary feeling, and sometimes we search in vain for reasons as to why this is the case. Maybe I'm afraid of getting hurt again. Maybe I don't trust this person, and something they did in their past to me has taught me that I need to have a little more in the way of boundaries. Maybe it's them, and they're just smothering me to death. There can be so many different reasons as to why this is the case, but what's really important to remember is that when somebody asks you for space, back away and give them the space. Now, in the meantime, people always want to do the same thing. They want to grab on even tighter and say, you're not going anywhere. But it's not because they are not willing to give space, but what space often signifies, which is a separation of a sort. It doesn't mean it's forever. It could just be a day or a week. But when we hear space, we get really anxious, really nervous, and the last thing we want to give them is what they ask for. And the reason is because what we fear comes after it, which we think is a breakup or a separation or a severing of whatever bond it might be, because perhaps it's not boyfriend-girlfriend yet. Perhaps it's not dating yet. It might be something a bit more preliminary. And I think the wisest thing to do is work from a standpoint of a scientist. So what does a scientist do? Well, step one is we gather all of the information that we can in order to begin making different hypotheses. So, step one, what changed? What's been going on? In what ways have I noticed this backing away? And you may see signs like, instead of texting I love you, instead they'll say love you. Instead of hanging out the usual 4 times a week, maybe they only want to hang out 2 times a week. Maybe they're hanging out with friends a lot more and changing some of the behaviors that you've seen. Begin collecting all of this information and ask yourself, okay, I'm seeing the symptoms. They asked for space. What is the root cause? And do your best, and perhaps with the help of a friend or maybe a counselor, to try and keep as much anxiety out of the picture as possible. So now that you've at least gotten closer to the identification of the root problem, begin to work on that root problem. Have I been too clingy? Have I been paying them too much attention? Or is it something that they're dealing with? And then the final step is give them the space they asked for, and you will be surprised how much better they respond to you. When there's too much of you in their life, that means that they need this this urge to be met, this urge to run. But if there's not enough interaction from you, they will feel that they want more of your presence. And frankly, during this time, it will be good for you to get away from them and learn to manage your anxiety, to self-soothe, all of those things that we talked about in previous videos. And you know that exercise, working with a counselor, journaling, hanging out with friends more often, and doing new things in your own personal life, really spending that time to remember to maintain your respect for yourself and your ability to live a good life. And in the meantime, they'll thank you so much for giving them that time and that space. So, if they ask for space, give them a universe. Leave them alone. Let them come to you at their pace, and you'll be surprised how much better things will go for you. But if you trap them and you smother them, well, you're in for a bad time. That's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Please leave a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover in a future video. Additionally, if you'd like extra videos every week, private live streams with me, and free giveaways of my best-selling book on Amazon, just visit my Patreon, patreon.com/thelovechat. Until next time.